Hi, welcome to Red Barrels Explode, your rundown of this week's gaming news. I'm Kevin. Let's get started. Well, towards the tail end of last week, Valve started a grand experiment to start allowing users to charge for the mods that they've made for games. Now, the game they chose to start this off was Skyrim, which in hindsight was maybe unwise given that it's a community that has gotten used to getting its mods for free for a long time, and understandably there was a big backlash among the community. Now, they have since rescinded this whole thing and actually apologised and handled it pretty well. I doubt this is the last we'll see of this kind of model, but it probably won't return for Skyrim anyway. Big disappointment for horror fans this week, as it was confirmed by Guillermo del Toro at a film festival that the new Silent Hills game he was supposed to be working on with Hideo Kojima is officially cancelled. This was later confirmed by Norman Reedus of Walking Dead and Boondock Saints fame by his Twitter account. Now, he was locked down to play the main character, or at least have his likeness on the main character of the game. As a result of this, also, PT, the playable teaser for the game, is now removed from the PlayStation Store. A lot of this probably won't come as any surprise to people who've been following Hideo Kojima recently, as it seems that his exit from Konami is imminent. His name has been removed from much of the marketing material for the game, and Konami have been very hesitant about responding to queries about that. They have, however, established they are looking for a new team to make the next Metal Gear game, so I think we can infer from that after the release of this new Metal Gear, we'll probably see a notice of his resignation in the coming weeks. Konami in general seem to not be the company they used to be anymore anyway. Recently they have been delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, but that shouldn't really surprise anyone who follows that kind of thing, because they're mostly traded on the European and Japanese stock exchanges anyway. Most of their business now seems to come from video poker, gambling machines and health clubs, and a very small amount from the video games. They seem to be pretty much just a Metal Gear factory now. In other financial news, Ouya, the initial video game success story of Kickstarter, is now selling itself off to pay off its debts. Now, this is kind of a sad story for people who were a fan of the open nature of the platform, that it was an Android console, but it seems that business-wise it just wasn't viable. Now, this might be because a lot of people, it turns out, didn't buy games for it. Most people were just happy to play the demos. The marketing for it wasn't particularly great, and a lot of the exclusivity deals for games for the console just broke down. Add to that the fact that the controller was universally panned as being terrible, and you've got a bit of a recipe for a disaster there. In other news that it seems to have become a theme for the year, yet another game delay to 2016, Dead Island 2. The Dead Island 2 team have released a statement basically saying they're not happy with the game in its current state, and that it isn't the game they've promised people. Now, we already got the spiritual successor to Dead Island earlier this year with Dying Light, so perhaps by the time this game comes around we'll be ready for more. In unexpected E3 news, it was announced that the PC is going to be at its own press conference. It's going to be run by PC Gamer, so it will be very interesting to see a press conference that isn't run by a publisher. And finally, Playtonic Games, a company founded by ex-Rare developers, the very people behind Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country, have started a Kickstarter for a game that is a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie called Yooka-Laylee. Now, they were asking for £175,000, and as of lunchtime, they have made over $1 million. I think it's safe to say that the project is funded. Let's just hope it can live up to the high bar set by its predecessor. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and we'll be back next week with more gaming news.